So for this, you're only gonna need two things: your chicken and your mole, your choice. I use Doña Maria. This is my favorite one. Your chicken. So for your chicken, you could either do it the same day or the day before. Meal prep, right? Not that hard. So what I recommend you to use is to use, look how jiggly, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. What I recommend you to use is chicken thighs, chicken quarters, all chicken legs, chicken wings, not really. Don't use chicken breast, even with bone in, because they get dry. Very dry with mole, because you're gonna cook it beforehand and then cook it with the mole itself, and it could get really dry. So what I used was just 6 chicken legs. I went ahead and I boiled them with a little bit of garlic salt, and that is it. I went ahead and I boiled them till they were completely cooked, and then just put it away so I could use it today. I'll insert a clip here of when I cooked it yesterday, so you could kind of just see what I did. I mean, I didn't skim it, I didn't do anything, just boiled it, put the salt in, covered it. When it cooled down, put it in the fridge, took it out for today. And that's pretty much it. In this pot I have 6 chicken legs, and I filled it almost all the way to the top with water. I'm going to add some garlic salt, just a little, to give it some flavor. Okay, see, so you're just gonna let it come to a boil. You could skim this off if you want to. I don't, because then you skim off the parsley and everything. So I just let it be. Boil it, let it cook, let it rest outside. You could do this the day of that you're gonna make mole, or you could do this a day before. Either way, I'm doing it a day before today. Don't mind that. That's for dinner tonight. You could use as much water as you want, depending on how much mole sauce you want. I used a lot of water because I wanted a lot of broth, because I am going to also use this broth to make rice, and I will show that in a future video. So I will show you how to get all this jiggle out, so we could go ahead and do this. Okay, so let's go back to the stove. Well, let's go to the stove so I can show you how to do that. So what I did is I took this out of the fridge for a little bit. You never want to, Georgette says hi everyone. You never want to take this out from the refrigerator and put it straight on your stove. That's not good for your pots. Don't do that. And man, look how beautiful my pot looks. It reminds me like my grandma's, so hey. Anyways, so just go ahead, turn it on, and you're gonna put it on a low. You don't want to boil it just yet. You want to go ahead and just let all this gelatinous melt down so you could take out the chicken. Okay, that's all you're doing for now. At the meantime, when this happens though, you could go ahead and start opening your can. Just go ahead and use your little tip here, crack it open. So the chicken was removed, and you can see I have a bunch of stock still left, and I already reserved my stock for my rice. As you saw, I left the skin on the chicken. If you don't want the skin, go ahead and take it off, but I recommend you to take off the skin after you boil it, because the skin gives the broth a lot of flavor. So go ahead, just take it out. It's all melted. Before it comes to a boil, remember how I said I like it a little spicy? Well, these, there you go, these are just roasted dried peppers. You could go ahead and just buy these at any supermarket. They're more bright red, and you could do is just toast them on a dried skillet if the roasted ones are not available. What you're gonna do is crack them in with it, okay? Because once it comes to a boil, it's gonna go ahead and infuse all of that spice, and you want to expose the seeds, because of course the seeds are the ones that are spicy. And then, so there you go, right? Let that come to a boil with it, And at the same time, you're gonna go ahead and add in your paste, okay? And you're gonna keep on mixing it. Do not throw away the oil cap that's on top of the mole from the jar. That gives it a lot of flavor as well. So go ahead and just add it all in there. You want to add it at this point because you want it to start melting. It will start melting with the heat. So you want to go ahead and start it. And then what you're gonna do is just sit here and just mix because you don't want it to burn. Keep on stirring it non-stop until the whole thing is dissolved. Once the mole paste is dissolved, it's gonna get thicker. You could go ahead and add more water if you want it more thin, but it's gonna thicken up. And I'm not adding any salt to this at this moment, any pepper, nothing, because I remember when I boiled the chicken, I went ahead and already added the garlic salt, so I don't want it to come out salty. So just keep on mixing. What a lot of people do that I've noticed also is that they put it in a blender, the mole paste with a little bit of the chicken stock. I don't do that. It's another thing dirty. I don't need to dirty it. I mean, it melts in the pot just fine. So I don't see the need to do that. I mean, you could do it if you want, if you don't have the patience for this, but I mean, this is pretty fast. It doesn't take that long. So I don't know why, I mean, you wouldn't do it. Like, it's quick. Okay, so the mole now is completely melted. All right, at this point, you're gonna go ahead and add your chicken, okay? Be careful when it boils because it does splatter. Put it in the back burner, my small little burner here, and I just let it simmer, let it come to a nice little boil, and I'll let it simmer there until I cook my rice, and that's it. I will say about 15 to 20 minutes and you are done.